Everyone is weird in their own unique way. But just how weird are you? Let's find out. 1 in 1.3 people talk to themselves. I do that for a living, so that's 1 point for weirdness to me. All right, guys, we're gonna play a game from here on moving forward. If you do any of these weird things, that is plus 1 point. And at the end of the video, I want you to comment how many points you have. So far, I got 1. Next, 1 in 2.5 people double dip their foods. Context, people, context. If you don't double dip when you're the only one using the dip, that's weird. It's weird to not double dip at that point. If you're sharing dip, that's when it matters who you're sharing with. If I'm sharing with my family, if I'm sharing with my, let's assume in this scenario, I have a girlfriend, I would double dip. But if it's like a stranger, if it's my boss, at least ask. I would probably not double dip at all, but at least you gotta ask if they're cool with the double dipping. It is one of my favorite questions though, because if they say yes, if you go, yo brother, you cool if I start double dipping? And they're like, bro, I've been double dipping this whole time. That's how you know you're like this. Your boys at that point. Next, there's a 1 in 3 probability that you talk in your sleep. Guys, I feel like this video was made out for me. Oh, that's 3 points now for me. The only reason that I know that I talk in my sleep is because growing up, I used to sleep in the same room as my brother. Not in the same bed. That would be weird. Sometimes though, maybe. Not the point though. Point is, oftentimes the next day, my brother would tell me that he had an entire conversation with me at night while I'm sleeping. Like not just me murmuring certain words like, oh, pizza, oh, Kate Upton, whatever. He told me like I would say things. He would respond to them and I would respond to him and we would have a whole conversation. So that's 3 points. Next, 1 in 3.9 people tell white lies. When you buy an extra donut and tell the cashier it's for a friend. I'm really starting to feel personally attacked at this point. I don't think I do that. Like white lies, I guess white lies, so does that mean just like petty, like stupid lies that like don't even, like you just lie to lie about things? I don't think I do that. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say a no, and I'm gonna stay at 3 points for this one. Next, 1 in 4.6 people, so now this is 21% of people pick their teeth. What does that mean? Does that mean to floss? Some people skip dental floss and head to bobby pins, straws, and credit cards. Okay, what about the people who skip flossing and then they also skip bobby pins and credit cards? Anyone else? Guys, look, I brush my teeth twice a day, sometimes 3 times, very rarely. I'm not a flosser. I don't floss. I'm not a flossing kind of guy. It's just not me. Not for me. I don't do any of the picking of the teeth part. So I'm still only at 3 points here. Next, 1 in 5.4 people relive cringy moments. What does that mean? You want to sleep, but you keep remembering when you called teacher mom. Okay, it might not be moments like that in particular, but there are times where I'll stay up late at night, not like all night long, but I will be thinking about certain things that happened that day that I wish I would have done differently. Like in an argument, for example, or for any sort of discussion that I have with my buddies. Like sometimes like, shoot, I should have said it this way, not that way. If that counts, I guess. I'm at 4 points. I guess we'll put it on. 1 in 6.9 people pretend that they're in a music video. All right. Like it's not an everyday thing. Like maybe thought about it before. Listening to your favorite artist makes everyday life more exciting. Okay, if it's an everyday thing, that's definitely not me. Who pretends to be in a music video every single day? What are we talking about here? Still at 4 points. 1 in 7.3 probability smell dirty underwear. Admittedly, I'm at 5 points right now, but not for those reasons. What? Dude, that is weird. Okay, I'm weird for other reasons. You see, I smell my own. Oh God. Oh no. Oh. It's not just my underwear that I'll smell. I smell like my shirts, my shorts, my socks. If I'm not sure if they're dirty or not. That's not weird. Like maybe I wore it only for like 20 minutes the day before and like, okay, I don't feel like washing it. And then the next day I'm like, all right, let me wear it again. Yeah, it stinks. I'm gonna go wash it now. But I don't smell underwear like in a weird way. I do it in a normal, cool way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's not even that weird, but technically I'm now at 5 points. Okay, dude, 1 in 7.5 people fantasize about feet. This is me maturing. Old me would have been like, oh yeah, that's me. No, I don't do that. I don't fantasize about feet. 1 in 8 people walk around the house naked. Have I before? The answer is yes. Is it a regular occurrence? The answer is no. So I'm in a pickle. You know what? I'm just gonna give it to myself. Hey, yo. No, didn't mean that, but 6 points, I guess. But it's not like I've done it a couple of times. It's not like a normal thing. It's like, have you ever peed in the sink? Like, I peed in the sink, but it's not like a normal thing. Like, would I count that? I guess. But anyway, 1 in 8.1 people take out earwax with their finger. Okay, that one I'll straight up admit I do that. That's a 7-pointer. Yeah, I'm at 7 points. Is that weird? Is that, maybe that is weird. For a 26-year-old, actually I'm 27. It was just my birthday. Darn it. I feel like for younger kids, that's like children who are like 5, that's normal. I don't like eat it though. Okay, that would be super weird. And also, I don't like pick it with my fingernail. I'll normally get like a tissue and then scratch it out that way because I heard Q-tips are bad. Like I heard it's bad to stick a Q-tip in your ear and then like plugs up your whole ear and you can poke your eardrum and rupture it. How am I supposed to clean my ear if I can't use a Q-tip? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do? It's gross to feel gunk in my ear. I need to clean it out, but I can't use a Q-tip. Someone tell me what I'm supposed to do then if this is like the weird thing to do. If only 1 in 8.1 people are doing it my way, what is the proper way? I don't know. Next, 1 in 8.9 probability of having conversations with pets. I'm at 8. I'm at 8 points, dude. That is not that weird. No way that's that weird. Bro, people talk to their pets. Nah, no, this video is actually rage baiting. This is a rage bait video. That's what I'm learning here quick. It's just trying to make me angry. It's trying to make me think I'm weird. I'm not that weird. It's not that weird to talk to your pets, right? Come on, you guys talk to your pets. No, I'm getting mad. I'm actually getting mad. I'm good. No, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm not that weird. I'm not that weird. Next, 1 in 9.5 people take phone calls while they're taking a doggy. It's another one of those things like, have I done it before? Yes, but also when I'm pooping, I'm not actively trying to call people. It's just like I'm on the toilet. My dad calls me. I answer. It's just like situations where I'm taking a nuke and my dad calls me and I answer and I say, hey, dude. It's just like those odd situations where I'm on the toilet dropping a tactical nuke and my dad happens to call. So I answer and I say, hey, dad, I'm dropping a deuce. What is up? Does that count as a point? I know what? I'm putting my foot down. I'm saying, no, that doesn't count as a point. I don't call people while I'm pooping. I don't do that. That's gross. Next, 1 in 10 people, so 10%, quick math, I know, I'm a genius, post a photo for your crush to see. Really? That's it? If they don't come to talk to you after that bomb drops, they must be blind. Really? Dude, I feel like most people, when they post a photo on social media, know that their crush is going to see it, or at least hope that their crush is going to see it. And then, like, maybe it's not necessarily for them, but also, it's like, you gotta make sure you look good because you know your crush is going to see it. 10% is crazy. Have I done that before? I don't really post, like, on social media. I'm gonna say no. I've never done that, but like people definitely do that. I think it should be way higher than just 10%. But like on my Instagram, I've had it since like 2016. I think I have like 8 posts total. Next, 1 in 11 probability to shave your toes. Excuse me? Who shaves their toes? That could be a woman thing. Wait, do women not shave their toes? Wait a minute. Are women out there looking like Bigfoot these days? Is that the norm? Or do they just not grow hair on their toes? Hold on. My entire life view has just been discombobulated. What is happening right now? Do women not grow foot hairs or do they not shave those foot hairs? I'm gonna just assume that they just don't grow feet hairs. I'm still only at 9. Yes, I got some hair on my feet, okay? I didn't realize going into this video how much it would expose me, but I feel like I'm getting exposed. 1 in 12 people pretend to be interviewed. From childhood idol to a favorite movie, you have all the answers already. What does that mean? But I've never been like cooking dinner by myself and pretend to be interviewed. Oh yeah, I was making the meatballs and I put it in the sauce and I accidentally turned it up too hot. The heat started exploding, gas going like, no, I've never done that. Shout out to my mom, shout out to my dad for teaching me how to make those SpaghettiOs. Really appreciate it. I might start doing it though. It does, seems kind of fun. Next, 1 in 12.3 people fake yawn to smell their own breath. I've never done that, but I have smelled my breath before just to see where I'm at. Like if I'm like post-flight, for example, but I don't do that. If you yawn, other people are gonna be smelling that. Yawning is the worst thing to do if you have stank breath. I just give it a quick one of these. Oh God. It's highly effective. 1 in 13 people measure time in music. Okay, I have the hiccups, but I also don't do that. Oh no, I have the hiccups. No, actually, I do that. I do that. Like if I go for a run, a lot of times I'll be thinking to myself, okay, I've been running for about 3 songs, so that's probably on average around 8 to 9 minutes, which also probably means a little bit over a mile I've been running. I do that. I'm at 10 points. Dude, if you don't do that, I feel like you're weird. 1 in 13.8% probability to stare at other people in the gym. Looking and staring, are they the same? Doesn't matter. I do stare at some people. I gotta be honest. I'm at 11 points. Dude, I'm freaking weird. I'm weird and I don't like this video anymore and I'm just so exposed. 1 in 14 people have questionable movie tastes. Okay, how am I supposed to know if I have questionable movie tastes? You know who I think has questionable movie tastes? Jack. I love him. I love the guy, truly. But he gives some movies ratings like I've never heard before. For example, we went to see the movie Wild Robots, which, by the way, is weird in and of itself. We're 26 and 27 grown men that we went to go see Wild Robots together. And he made me hold his hand the whole time. No, I'm kidding about that part. But after the movie, he told me that he gave it like a 9.7 rating. Dude, are you kidding? I mean, look, it was a good movie. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but a 9.7? That means that you're putting it up there with like Christopher Nolan movies, with like the greats of the greats. And so, as much as I love Jack and as much as I respect Jack, I do not respect this movie rating scale. There's something off there. 1 in 15 people dream of their teeth falling out. Yeah, I've had that before. I'm at 12 points. I think that means something. I think that like, I swear I've read like Twitter posts or something, or maybe an article that said like, if you're having dreams of your teeth falling out, it means you have anxiety. Something like that. I don't know. Next, 1 in 17 people use partner's toothbrush. No, that's gross. Makes me want to vomit. I will never do that ever, ever, ever. That's so gross to me. 1 in 20 people sleep with stuffed animals. I think that's acceptable if you are below the age of 16. After that, we're getting into the weird area. I don't do that. Next, there's a 1 in 23 probability to shut all doors before sleeping. Oh, I don't do that. I do leave my door open, but I'll admit I wish I didn't, because sometimes I feel like someone's there. Even when I know no one's there, I just like I'm middle of the night and I just see my door open. Like this, for example. Sometimes when I record reacting to scary videos, you'll notice I turn around and look at that door because it freaks me out that it's open and I feel like someone is standing there. But I don't ever do anything about it. I don't ever close it. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm secretly into it. Next, there's a 1 in 27 probability that you never watch series until the end. Okay, I know that like the point of the video is that things get weirder and weirder. That is definitely the weirdest one yet. Who like watches a TV show and they love it and then is like, actually, nah, I'm gonna go start Phineas and Ferb for the 13th time but not finish it. What kind of freak of nature does that? That is so weird. The only way I'd say that's acceptable is if you're watching Game of Thrones, because that actually has the worst finale ever. So watch the first 7 seasons and not the last. Next, 1 in 32 people bite themselves. What? The food is almost ready. Just hang on to that hunger a bit more. What? Nuh-uh. No, what? I've never heard of that. That's insane. People who are like super hungry just start biting themselves? That is so weird. The only person that I can think of that would do that is probably Adam. If Adam told me that he did that, I would not be surprised. Next, 1 in 33.4 people dip chips in ice cream. You know what? I'm gonna say yes. And that's gonna put me at 13 points. I mean, technically, I don't really do that, but I'll say my favorite ice creams are like cookies and cream, or like the Oreo ones, where there's literally Oreos or sometimes cookies in the ice cream. But I don't like actively go get cookies and like dip it in ice cream. But I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes because I love those flavors, and sometimes they actually serve it with the cookie in the ice cream, and that makes it so good. I'm trying to do the biting yourself thing when you're hungry and thinking of food. It's just not doing it for me. I don't get that one. Next, there's a 1 in 36 probability to feel bad for inanimate objects. I actually do, bro. I'm at 14 points, and I think that's way higher than 1 in 36 because, bro, it's like sad. Okay, for example, this is just one example of probably many, but you have, let's say, a blankie that you grew up with. You loved that blankie. Best blankie of ever. You took it everywhere you went. You took it upstairs. You took it downstairs. You ate with it. You slept with it. And then you get older and the blankie no longer gets love. And now the blankie is sitting in your closet for years and years and years with no attention. And then one day you stumble upon him again and you feel bad. You're like, oh, it's Blanky. You've been up here for years. It's been millennia since I've seen you. Oh, Blanky, what have I done? What's happened to you? Why do you smell of rotten eggs? Okay, that maybe was a little weird. You get my point, though. I'm not saying every inanimate object I feel bad for, but there's certain ones that you have a special connection with. Come on, I can't be alone here. I'm at 14 points. We're moving on. Next, 1 in 37.9 people put makeup on top of old makeup. Yep, that's me. Yeah, I do that. Guilty as charged. Nah, I'm kidding, boys. Obviously, this is all natural. But, I mean, I don't really know much about makeup, but I do know that I've seen lots of women that have what seems to be about a pound of makeup on their face. And I would say, you, lady, have makeup on top of makeup. Next, 1 in 40 people have an imaginary friend. I can wholeheartedly say without a doubt in my mind that I've never had an imaginary friend. That doesn't mean I have many friends in general. I don't have those really, or many of them, but I never had to make one up. Anyway, 1 in 43 people eat food from least to most like, so the last thing you eat tastes the best. That's 15 points for me. I'm gonna be honest, boys. That's 15 points. It's not every time. I don't do it every time, but I do it sometimes. For example, if the dinner is a steak and it's potatoes and it's asparagus, you bet your entire life savings on the fact that I'm eating that asparagus first. I'm getting that out of the way. I'm taking all of it and shoving it down my gullet as fast as possible and forgetting about it. Then I'll probably mix in a little bit of the two of the steak and potatoes, but I'm always making sure that I leave steak last because I want that to be my last bite. So honestly, I don't think that's weird. I don't think that's weird at all, but apparently it is. But now I'm at 15 points. Oh shoot, 15 points. I think I'm at 15. 1 in 50 people not having smelly armpits. What does that mean? This lucky small faction of the population has armpits that never smell. No, I have that. I can promise you that I have those. I got 2 of them actually. 1, 2. 1 in 70 people count steps while walking. What? I've never heard of that. People have like Fitbits and Apple Watches and apps on their phone to count their steps for them, but I've never heard of counting your own. I would definitely lose track. I can barely keep track of how many of these I am. Next, 1 in 71.4 probability of skin picking. Starts with a little bit, then suddenly turns into bleeding and pain. Ugh, oh God. I don't do that. I do pick my fingernails though. And in fact, I've been doing it in this video. I'm not like those people who like bite their fingernails to like a nub. It's just like I pick them when they get long. I don't clip them. I don't know. I respect clippers. I'm not judging you if you clip your nails. It's just, I don't know. It's not for me. I just pick them off, whatever, next. And then I wait a week or two, bang, pick them off again next. 1 in 80 probability to air dry yourself after a shower. Takes longer, but people argue it gives a sense of freedom. Those are the same people that think the earth is flat. I can guarantee you that. That's easily the weirdest one yet. Some people don't use a towel after showering. 1 in 81.2 probability to be obsessed with body odor. These people are constantly afraid of emitting a bad smell that offends others. Okay, I'm not that. I don't want to be stinky. Don't get me wrong, and I try not to be stinky, but I'm not like obsessed with it. Like if I stink, I'm like, ah, shoot. Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad, guys. That's my, I stink. Hand up, hand way up here. My bad, guys. I stink. You know, I'm sorry about that. Next, 1 in 93.8 probability to take socks off on flights. That's pretty gross. I do take my shoes off though in flights, and I'll be in my socks. And real quick story, this is gross, and I'm sorry to tell this, but it's actually my most recent flight that I had. I almost never get sick, but for whatever reason, I was so sick on this flight that I threw up into the bag that they give you in the seat in front of you. And then I threw up in this bag. And of course, the people sitting next to me are 2 parents with like a 6-month-old baby. They're all asleep. I gotta wake them all up. I nudge the dad, hey, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm so sorry, dude, but I threw up. I threw up in his bag. Please let me go to the bathroom. So he gets up. I know I got stank breath, dude. Like I try to tell him like this. I was like, hey, I just threw up. He's like, what? What'd you say? I just threw up in his bag. It was such a bad experience. Anyway, so they all get up and I like sprint to the bathroom because I don't know if I have to throw up again or what. And I forgot that I don't have my shoes on. It's just not what I'm thinking of. And in the bathroom, of course, it's a public bathroom. It's on the plane. We're shaking, we're wobbling, pee on the floor. I step right in it. So now I got pee socks. I got throw up on my legs in this bag. It's worst flight experience of my life for sure. But anyway, no, I don't do that. I don't ever take my socks off. Next, 1 in 120 people perform a a clover leaf tongue. What does that mean? A lot rarer to find people that can roll their tongue. Wait, I think I know what that is. I think it's this. It's not, oh God, hold on. It's not, I know you're all doing this right now. That's what you're all doing. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's this. It's actually been years since I've done it. Hold on, watch this. Yeah. Yeah. 16 points. 16. That's the only weird thing on this list that I'm proud of that I can do. It's gotta be that. That's gotta be what that means. The next one is 1 in 135 chance to escape planning. What? Natural disaster, public shooter. These people have all the escape plans. Okay, I do that. And I think a lot of men do that. I don't know about women. And I'm not trying to like say, oh, men do this, women do that. It's just, I talk to a lot of guys. And so I know that that's kind of the way that we operate. Like, for example, I do this all the time. So I'm like, not only do I do this occasionally, it's like almost every time I'm out, I do this. Especially if I'm with a group of people that I care about, like my family. I will actively, like we're in an airport, for example, we're walking through the airport, I'll actively know where the exits are. I'm looking around, and it's not like, I'm not being weird about it. I'm not being like a psychopath, like, where are the exits? Who are the threats in here? But I'll, I'll be casually just walking behind my family and making sure everyone's all right. And I'm making sure that if something happens, I got a plan. Now, I'm the youngest of my family, so I don't think anyone would even listen to me anyway, but at least I like to have an idea of like what to do in case there is a public shooter, if there's a natural disaster. I like to just have an idea in my head of where we need to go, what we need to do, who needs to do what. So I guess that's 17 points, but I don't think that's that weird, and I don't think it should be 135. Next, there's a 1 in 150 probability to be able to write with both hands. So just being ambidextrous with writing. I can barely do that with one hand, so no. Next, there's a 1 in 200 probability to do extreme couponing. I can honestly say that I have never used a coupon in my life. Never. My mom did growing up. I don't know if she still does, but she also wasn't like hoarding them. Like she wasn't being crazy about it, like extreme couponing. I'm just not a coupon guy. Oh my God. Wait, we're actually making huge jumps now. What is this? 1 in 300 people bite their toenails? Okay, that is gross. And I'm a fingernail biter. I bite my fingernails and then I pick them off. Like I bite it to get it started and then I rip off the rest. I know that's gross to a lot of people and I apologize for admitting that and even saying it, but biting your toenails is a completely different league. Like biting your fingernails, that's like T-ball, okay? That's little Timmy playing T-ball. Biting your toenails, that is professional league. That is the NFL of biting nails. Next, 1 in 342 people keep their volume at an even number. I think that might be pretty dated. Oh, actually, no, on TVs. Yeah. I do that. No way that's 1 in 342 people. Because like, maybe it's not an even number per se, but I like my numbers to be on either a 5 or a 0 ending. Like I'll put it at 55 or 60, 65, 70. Like sometimes I'll leave it in between, but I don't like it. I think a lot more people are that way than 1 in 342. Are you kidding? Bro, that's insane. But that's gonna put me at 17 weirdness points. Yo, we are taking a huge jump now. 1 in 1,300 people chew ice cubes? Like incessantly? Like it's an addiction? Okay, if it's like an addiction, then I don't do that. But like if I have a cup of water with ice in it, I will oftentimes eat the ice afterwards. But I think that this is saying like you casually are just chewing ice cubes throughout your day. Like it's your thing. So I'm gonna not give myself a point for that. Bro, what is this next one? 1 in 1,500 people sit backwards on the toilet? Dude, that actually just brought up one of the oldest memories I can think of. All this somewhere where it was like you can poop and eat cereal at the same time because you use like the back of the toilet as your table. And so I tried it and it was awesome. I mean, that's how I remember it being, but also, I mean, it is, thinking about it now, probably very gross to be consuming food where you're defecating and there's feces all up in that area. So I wouldn't do it again. I've done it before. I'm still not giving myself a point though, because that means like you do that actively and I don't do that actively. Next, 1 in 2,000 people practice witchcraft. In the year 2025, who is still trying to be a witch? Okay, this isn't the Wizard of Oz anymore. This isn't year 816, okay? Who's doing that? And like, just stop doing that. And this is the weirdest thing on this entire list, making an enormous jump to 1 in 50 million people. These people are so weird that they drink blood. Okay, obviously I don't do that. That's insanely strange, but I have a lot of French relatives, and in France, it's a delicacy to eat a food called boudin, which is blood sausage. This is really gross. I don't like eating it, but I'll eat it for my family because I don't want to be rude. Essentially though, it's sausage that is filled with blood of a pig, and they boil the blood of the pig to make it coagulate, and then they stuff it and boil it, and it's the grossest thing ever. So I guess I've eaten pig blood before, if you want to look at it that way, but I don't drink blood. That is disgusting. Anyway, boys, that puts me at 17 points. Comment down below what your weirdest score is. And if you want to watch more of these comparison videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click on this one right here.